Yeah. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Juice. Oh, it's hot. So we were outside working on our watering system for our animals and realized that it was time for our live.
Yeah.
So we kind of set up in a hurry. Hang on, Hunter. Let me move this a little better so y'all can see us. If I put it, is that better?
Nope.
No.
You're aimed that way for.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. That's better. Okay. All right.
Sorry guys, I'm all sweaty and
Yeah. We're always working. Yeah, you can have it. We're always busy doing something. So hey Drew, hey Lindsay, how's it going?
Hi guys.
We so enjoyed our time with you guys this week.
Yes, we did. I'm glad y'all got to eat up all my groceries.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to pull up the live on Wiley's phone so we can see the comments.
I already got the
So
live on
give
the
us just a
TV.
second.
I've got the live on the TV.
Not right.
Or I've got the live on the computer.
The computer's over there though.
Yeah, but you can see it easily.
I can't. It's my back. Don't have to do much to sweat this time of year.
Whoop.
Yeah. I'm trying to read it from really far away on my screen, and so yeah. Lindsay said the groceries were amazing.
Just the best.
Michael said, "You know what I did today, Mom?" And I said, "What'd you do?" And he said, "I kept the food from going bad."
And he ate it all.
Ate it.
He like
So
yesterday, I think he put away about 60 pounds of friggin' leftovers.
yeah.
No. I only ate a pork chop and like 3 pounds of potatoes, mashed
Hey, Hot Rod,
potatoes.
how are you?
Hey, Hot Rod.
Hey, Jess, how are you? Tree hanging?
Oh, hey, Jess. Yep.
Drew said he's driving, but he's listening. Well, when you get a chance, let us know where you at. Did you finally make it out of Oklahoma?
Yeah. Have you made it out of Oklahoma yet?
How's the video? Is video good? Audio good? I forgot to ask that. We just kind of got busy and got started. So, we're hoping that a little Southern brother shows up. Donna had reached out to us several weeks ago, and then we set this date, and I got the live scheduled, and I don't have a phone number for her, so I've just been trying to message her through social media, and I haven't gotten a response back. They do have the link and everything, so we're hoping that they show up because they wanted to talk to you guys about something that's pretty near and dear to them. 40 miles past Amarillo.
Oh, yeah. He's at the Cadillac Ranch. I'm seeing that now.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice, so awesome. Oh, hey, Donna, how's it going? Are y'all going to be our guests tonight?
We was just talking about you.
Yeah.
We've been messaging you, and I guess I don't know what happened, but we sent you the link and everything.
What happened is I probably waited too long
Yeah,
to get it done
mhm.
and didn't give them ample reminding. So
It's definitely all her fault.
I bet it's my bad, guys. What? Won't be able to stay long. About ready to go primary on the hooking thing.
Here, I got this.
Oh, they're here.
Oh, where should I put it?
We don't have no place to put it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that's why it's not here.
Let's see. So
And
let's see if
because
I
you
can
guys
figure out
kinda
how
got it
to get them in here. It's been a while since we used StreamYard. So where's our guest at? Are you guys in the, Donna, are y'all in the background?
Did
or
y'all
what?
already click on the link and all that good stuff?
I sent you the link and email and on Instagram. Well, thanks for stopping by anyway, Hot Rod.
There's the guestesses.
But usually I think it says when one is here. Nope.
No?
So, y'all, it has been.
Hi, Susie.
Hey, Susie. It has been an absolute.
She said she didn't get a link.
Amazing week. Did you check Instagram? Because I'm pretty sure I sent it. And I sent it to your email.
So yeah, for those of you guys that haven't seen the video, you posted the video, right? Yeah, for those of you that haven't seen the video, so the beginning of the week, of course, we started out with Drew
On Monday.
at the house, and
Then Lindsay.
then Lindsay showed up on Tuesday,
She blessed us with her present.
and then they helped us feed on Wednesday. They actually helped us serve the meals and do everything on Wednesday.
Prep and clean up and set up and serve and all of that jazz.
I actually put Drew to work, helping me put the old truck together I've been working on Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, they finally got the brake lines in,
Got the brake lines on it, and got the front clip on it.
and they did a whole lot of goofing off.
Yeah. Well,
it was a good time.
it was a great time. And then, when they left on Wednesday
We booked it to Oklahoma City.
and got to pick up our freeze dryer, woohoo! So, we have already ran the
Bread.
primary bread. You know, the first thing you have to do is put bread in it. And the bread absorbs the new car smell, basically, from the instructions.
Yep.
So-
and then we threw it out to our chickens.
Yep.
And the chickens loved freeze-dried bread.
Yeah. So it was a whole lot like bread that you left sitting out. Is what it felt like. I broke it in half and then I picked up a piece and then I crunched it and it just turned into bread powder.
So now it's in the defrost process, and we get to check it out we've got some Skittles and some
Starburst.
Starburst we're putting in it.
We don't have any leftovers. We were gonna freeze dry some of the leftovers from Drew and Lindsay's visit, but this guy over here is like a living garbage disposal.
And just
So,
face it, guys, you know, the first go around, we have to freeze dry some Skittles. Come on.
yeah.
And then it's going to get to serious business. Then we're going to be putting food in there and getting things prepped out for,
I have a bunch of garlic I want to freeze dry.
yeah. We've been looking at different herbs, different fruits, a lot of different things to freeze dry.
There's a ton of blackberries around here, so the kids are gonna go pick a bunch of blackberries and we're gonna freeze dry those and we'll be able to give those out to the homeless.
And then,
Hey, JB.
of course, we're going to be doing meals. So,
Hey, Eddie. How are you? Yeah. So it's been a really good week.
and then to top that off,
Thursday.
on
yeah.
Thursday, we got to go pick up our grant from Canadian Valley Electric Cooperative. First time we've gotten to do anything like that. So now we have the funds to register with the IRS as a 501c3, our nonprofit status. So that is a very expensive, very lengthy process. So
Can be very expensive. Depends on how much of it we have to outsource.
So now we have the funds to get that all started.
Yep.
Which is just absolutely amazing. Those guys over at Canadian Valley.
And that's not it. They didn't just give us the grant. Like they're making connections.
Oh yeah, they're making a
It's-
lot of connections for us too. I guess there was 6 or 7 of them come and interviewed us on a Wednesday.
Yes, Donna. There's lots of good things happening.
They're in there.
Oh, okay. Our guests are here.
Yep.
Yay. All right. I guess I did that right. Let's see if we can do this.
And this.
Oh, it's Donna. Yay. Add to stream.
Yeah.
Whoops, I'd probably put the wrong button. Hey, guys.
Hey guys,
Hey,
how are y'all?
we're good. How about you?
Great,
Wonderful.
great.
It's a little bit hot outside, but other than that, we can't really complain.
Yep, it's hot here too.
I bet.
Can you say Connor? There you go.
Apparently, yeah. I think he's cut in half about like I am.
Yeah.
I'm leaning in.
So tell us what you got going on, Donna. For those of you guys that don't know, this is Donna from our Little Southern Brothers. Obviously, it says it there at the bottom of her thing.
And Connor.
And Connor.
I,
And they've got some pretty exciting stuff going on too, and I'm gonna let her explain about that.
And he said, I think I know them too. Hey, Dan.
So, hello, guys. Hello to all of Jen and Wiley's friends on here. Some of the names I recognize and some of them I don't. So, my name's Donna. I'm the mom to the little Southern brothers. This is one of them. This is Connor. You say hi.
Hey.
And wave, show those dirty paws. They just got home.
You've been working, Connor.
Yeah. So, in 2020, Connor had the opportunity to do a entrepreneurship program. And so he taught me into getting a GoPro, and we got one, and they shot a couple little videos, and they wanted to put them on YouTube. So I put them on there just to store them for us to have to look back on. And then once we got them on there, they started asking, wanting to make them live and just see if anybody would watch them. And so I was like, there's nobody going to watch this. This is kind of crazy. So anyway, they begged and begged. And so we went ahead and made them public. And I guess the rest is kind of history. But anyway, on our 1-year anniversary in August, we had decided that we kind of wanted to do something to give back. People have been so generous to watch the videos, and when we get on live, people do the super chats and stuff, and it's just been so nice and so kind to the boys. And so I was watching TV one night. Well, we knew we wanted to do something, but we didn't know what. So I was watching TV one night and saw a ad for St. Jude, and I kind of got to thinking about that, and I thought, that sounds really good. So I didn't say anything about it to anybody. And so a few weeks later, Tommy had saw an ad had come on again, and he said that would be really neat to do. And so I thought, hey, this must be meant to be. So we didn't have any idea of what we were doing. We just figured it out. Google, tried to figure out how to do a fundraiser, and kind of threw it all together. The Lord blessed it, and we were able to raise just a few dollars over $11,000 last year.
What was your goal last year?
My goal was, it was 10. No, yeah, my goal was 10,000. My goal was 10,000.
You guys exceeded it by over $1,000.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was so awesome.
I'm so excited. When I first started, I was like, because it asks you for a goal. And I was like, maybe I should just like $1,000, 5,000. I thought 5,000 is kind of, that's to me, that's a lot of money, And so I was like, and 10,000 just came to my mind. I thought, that is so crazy. People are going to think I'm crazy, And so I just put it out there, $10,000, and the goal was met, and we ended up with 11,000 and just a few dollars over.
Wow.
So we were just so tickled.
I just posted your link. If you guys see me chatting, I'm chatting as working with Wiley because I don't want to interrupt while Donna's talking. But I just posted their link, and I was going to try to pin it to the top, but I guess I can't because
You're not on yours.
I'm not on mine.
Yeah.
I'm on Wiley's, so I'm going to change it.
Wait, I can do it over here.
Just pin that comment to the
So Donna, what do you guys have in the plans for this year?
So I was hoping that we'd know a little bit more about what we were doing this year. And so I have reached out to a few companies, and I know a lot of businesses are having a hard time. I know that. And I have I have had some people to reach back out to me, and we have some tickets to a couple of different attractions up in the Pigeon Forge Smoky Mountain area. And what I wanted to do was, my goal was to reach out to different businesses in different states. That way it wasn't everything in Tennessee, that there was going to be stuff in Oklahoma and Arkansas and Ohio, Michigan, just everywhere. But I'm kind of limited knowing all the places, things that people do there. But I did reach out to a few, but I've not heard back from anything from out of state yet. So I'm hoping that I will. And I'm really hoping that through the people watching, that maybe they can jump in and help us as well. Maybe they know some places, or maybe they know somebody that could get some tickets donated that we can auction off. I know people have said that A Little Southern Brothers is doing the fundraiser, which it was our idea, but it has been a community.
Right.
We didn't raise $11,000 by ourselves. Through you guys and many other channels, we were all able to raise $11,000.
Right. Yeah. Because it takes a community. It really does.
Yes, yeah. And I don't want it to be just us. It's a community. It's a lot of different people that pitched in and made this thing happen.
But it was your idea, and you're the one who brought everybody together to make it happen. So, I mean, you get the credit. I mean, take the credit.
Yeah.
The credit's due.
It's kind of funny because when you have that, when you feel led to do something and then you do it, and because you said, I just thought of 10,000, and you said that you thought people are going to think you're crazy. Well, the first year, let's see, we do a toy drive every year. I'm not sure that we're going to do it this year. I'm not feeling as led to do it as I have in the past. But the first year we did it, my best friend and I were like, hey, if we can just help 10 kids, then that's 10 kids that might not have had Christmas without it. And so, but then she said, I prayed about it, and she said, how many do you think we can help realistically? And I was like, 50 sounds like a lot of kids. At this point, neither her or I could provide our own kids with Christmas. And so 50 kids was like a mountain, of kids. And she said, well, I prayed about it, and God said to double that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I still get goosebumps talking about it because, you're thinking, man, that's a really impossible goal, right? Mm-hmm. And the first year, we served 115 kids.
Wow, that's great.
And never doing anything like that before, being in a position where we couldn't even provide for our own kids, and then being able to bring community together. Mm-hmm. We were able to serve 115 kids that first year.
Right.
And so, when you feel led to do something, that's God pulling at your heartstrings, saying, "Hey, this is what I have this job for you." So I want to just commend you guys for, when you have that thought, acting on it. Because there's so many times when people are going to get stopped. They're going to stop at that, $10,000 is a lot of money. People are going to think I'm crazy, and I don't want people to think I'm crazy. So I'm just not going to do it.
I guess the thing was I didn't want to set a goal and then fail at it,
Right.
I don't know why I'm like that, but I am.
I think a lot of people are that way.
True. But this year I was like, hey, I'm over that. And so I don't know if you was on Lori's live or not, but I debated on whether I wanted to share what the goal was going to be for this year. And so I just went with it. And the goal this year is 20,000. So I'm going to double it.
That's awesome. I'm just reading comments while you're talking. While I go over comments, do you want to tell people about your channel?
Well, our channel is, it's all about the boys. They, like I said, whenever they got the GoPro, they filmed a few things here because we live on a farm as well. We don't really show a whole lot about our farm. We have a beef cattle business, and we live on 300 acres here, and the majority of it is wooded. What we wanted to do when we first came here is clear it, the majority of it, for pasture that we could, and cut the timber. But Tommy's been blessed with jobs from other people, and so he's been able to continue to work, and our job is still just waiting on us. But we've got quite a bit cleared, and we run cattle, and then we have the log and the sawmill business as well. So the boys, they always go to work with Tommy, and they're 12 and 14 now. And they've been going since they were little. And it's funny because a lot of times people will ask, when they see the boys driving on the videos, they'll say, they'll want to know, how old were they when they started driving? Connor's 12 and he's been driving. Of course, the channel's 2 years old now. He was on there driving at 10. And they're like, how old was he when he started driving? And we'd ask, how old was you when you started driving? They're like, I don't know. I've just always been driving. We don't even know how old we were when we started driving.
It's just part of life.
Yeah, when you live on a farm and you cut hay and do different things like that, the kids just sit in there. And that's the way we taught Landon. He'd sit on a pillow. We'd put it in first gear and we'd do square bells. And they'd throw them on the back and let him keep them between the rows, But the channel is about the boys, basically, them going to work with Tommy. The first video that we put up, I was learning. I didn't know how to edit a video. I sure didn't know how to film a video. I didn't know even how to run the GoPro. And so they went on, took it to the woods with them. I told them one day, I said, just take it to the woods with you and film what you do. Our channel is not anything that we have to come up with a video, which thank goodness, because I'd be horrible at that. Just film what we do on a daily basis. I mean, it's just normal everyday, stuff for us. But they took it to work and they filmed them logging with Tommy, and they brought the footage home, and I did a little bit of editing to it. And I was trying to think of a title. I didn't know that, by watching YouTube, I knew that the titles meant a lot, a catchy title, a good thumbnail. I kind of knew that, but I really didn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Right. And so I was sitting here that night and I'd edited a little bit of the video, and I was just kind of tired. I wanted to go to bed, and I just put 12-year-old logger on it and said, forget it. I was done with it. And so uploaded it, made it go live, sent it live, whatever. And the next thing I knew, there was people watching, and people they were getting more and more and more subscribers. And that's basically the channel, is just them doing what they do, our business. And like I said, we don't film a lot of the farming part. Like we do homesteading. We have a garden, we have chickens, and we have all these things, but a lot of that's my stuff, and I don't care to be, it's not my thing, it's their thing. I get on a few times. I mean, I might get on and rant about the gas prices or about the prices at the restaurants, but it's just them doing what they do.
Well, I can tell you, those boys, for those of you guys that don't know them and haven't watched them, those boys work their butts off.
Yeah,
and
I
mean, it is just extremely inspirational to see the way you guys' family works. I mean, and obviously it shows, because that's why you guys have grown like you guys have. I mean, it's awesome.
And you guys homeschool the kids, right?
Yeah.
Have they always been homeschooled?
Landon was homeschooled from 2nd grade to 8th grade, and he wanted to go back to school to play basketball. And so he played he went in 8th, and he completed high school at public school. Chloe went Christmas of her kindergarten year and went through 3rd grade. Isaac went 4 days, and Connor's never been. And he'll be in 6th grade this year.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
We just started homeschooling ours in 2021.
Yeah.
So
I kind of thought I was done because, I had taught Landon, and, there's such an age gap between Landon and then the 3 little ones.
Right.
And maybe sometime I'll have to tell the story about that, and how funny it is, when you think things and God has other plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
think that story sometime.
yeah. But we kind of thought I just figured I was through homeschooling. I was kind of burnt out anyway. And then Isaac just really hated school and just wasn't doing well. So, of course, he just went 4 days, but it was the longest 4 days probably of my life. So Tommy said, this is crazy. Why don't you just homeschool? And I was like, oh my gosh, not again. he'll be in 8th grade this year, and I've been back at it 9 years. So
Wow.
I think
And
I've been homeschooling 14 years, I guess.
wow.
So Deb said, when my youngest was 8, he loved our John Deere tractor. He drove it standing up because he was too short to sit on the seat. Now he is 31 and can tear down and rebuild a tractor, it seems, in his sleep.
Yeah.
So what happens when you grow up working on stuff and being around things? And so we've been building a truck, and so a lot lately we've been having the kids help us with different projects just so they can get hands-on and learn how to use tools and learn kind of the mechanics of how things work under a vehicle and stuff like that. So we haven't had to do stuff on we haven't had to do anything on our tractor yet because it was, I mean, we've only had it for
About
2
a year.
years, a year. Oh yeah, a year. We've had it for a year.
Yeah. Tell Wiley what happened today.
Uh-oh.
Go.
What'd you do, Dawn?
Uh-oh.
Driving a truck out and went to go change gears and wouldn't go in gear and started rolling back the hill, and then I rammed it in gear and the front end came off the ground.
Oh. Did you get that on camera?
No, I wouldn't do it. I just got up on myself.
That was a viral video.
I take it you was on a pretty good hill then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might not have went too well on YouTube because, you know, we get a lot of comments that people don't agree with, you know, how we do, and they don't really agree that, you know, kids should work but you know, that's just everybody's.
They're the same kind of folks though, I think, that also don't know how to change their own tires.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I was right there with my dad and everything that he did. And so as an adult, I'm pretty capable of doing those things. And I feel like that's important because there's so many people nowadays that don't even know how their toilet works.
So we cut up a bunch of lumber for Mama V over at Possum Run Homestead and delivered it to her in Arkansas whenever we went over for the 4th of July. And we was backing the trailer up her driveway. Now, I'll tell you, I didn't think I was going to be able.
Cindy.
I didn't think I was going to be able to get that 30-foot gooseneck backed up her driveway because she's got a little narrow road, little narrow driveway, and it's real bad windy.
And we had a 30-foot gooseneck.
So,
and a dually.
so the kids was riding on the trailer.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
right.
So the kids was riding on the trailer. And Jen was like, oh, you know, you kids get off there. We don't want to film that. You know, and I was like, no, let the kids ride on it. I mean, I'm not moving 2 miles an hour trying to back this trailer up through there. If they want to ride on the trailer, let them ride on the trailer. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. They're safe, you know. But,
Yeah, they're going to fall a couple feet.
I'm sure that comments are coming, you know, but whatever. I mean, they'll get over it.
Like Cindy said, they can raise their kids and we'll raise ours.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. That's funny is talking about the gooseneck trailer. Me and Tommy, I mean, if we ever fuss, it's when I'm trying to back a trailer. I mean, he's back there, you know, and he's doing this, and then I'm like, and then he's doing this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And Chloe, she showed pigs for a while. And so I took them we had to take them and get some blood drawn on them. Well, Tommy couldn't go. And at the time, we had the truck and we still got that gooseneck trailer. But anyway, he loaded them up in the cattle trailer. And so I took them to the vet to get some blood drawn on them. Well, then we were going to come back and go by one of Tommy's friend's house and where they have a barn, and we were going to weigh them, see what kind of weight they were because, you know, they go into different classes, you know, and stuff. We kind of just wondered where we was at. So I turned on the wrong road. You know, how long is that trailer? Do you know? I don't know, but it's a long cattle trailer. And so I turn on that road and I'm like, I keep going and going. I'm like, I know that the barn's just right here on the right side of the road. Where is this barn at? You know, and I just kept going and going. And so I called Tommy and he's like, you've turned on the wrong road. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. And he was like, no, I was so mad because here I am down this road. I know nobody down this road. And I'm in this huge truck and trailer with 2 pigs.
And nowhere to turn around.
And nowhere to turn around and 3 kids.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh, I was so mad. And so there was this little bitty driveway. And so I pull down and I'm like, this is it. You know, this is the only option that I have to try to back this trailer in this driveway. And so I pulled down and I backed up and I was like, no. So I pulled down and I backed up and I just kept thinking, how am I going to do this? I know I can do this. I know I can do this. And so I just kept on trying. And he was like calling, he's like, have you got it? I'm like, no, I've not got it. And so finally, long story short, I ended up backing that trailer in that driveway and getting out of there. And I didn't even take the pigs to get them weighed. I went home. I am not trying this again. I'm taking these pigs home. And but me and trailers, that's one thing I just cannot hardly do at all is to back a trailer.
You know, there's two, and especially when somebody's back there trying to guide you.
Oh, I know. And you're sitting backwards.
I have to stop and tell everybody, for me, all I want to know is stick your arm straight out. If I need to go that way, drop your arm. If I need to go that way, drop your other arm, or just drop both arms if I need to stop. That's all I want to know.
Right.
This is so hard to understand.
That's wax on.
And you're seeing them backwards. You know, when you're looking through your rear view mirror, you're seeing it backwards.
Right.
And then Tommy's back there. He's like, and I'm like, I'm trying to turn around. He's like, just use your mirror. And I'm like, it's not that simple, you know. But the boys, they can back one. So if I get in a bind or whatever, I haul they cut firewood too. They've been selling firewood. Connor started him a little firewood business. So
with that new splitter he got for Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so simple with that. He had asked for it for 2 years before he got it. And I told Tommy, I said, it seems weird to buy a kid a wood splitter for Christmas. You know, that's something you work with.
Right.
But I hauled their wood for him the other day, and it was kind of in a little tight place. And so I told Isaac, I said, you just do it. And he can do it. You know, that saves me from having to worry about it.
But those kids are so hardworking and wholesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
I love it.
It's just awesome.
You know, it's funny because people ask us, they're like, how did you get them to want to do stuff like this? And, you know, I just kind of think that with them being around us, you know, they just kind of wanted to be a part, I guess. I don't really know. I know before we moved here, we just lived on 2 acres, and Isaac was 4, and we bought, and he always wanted to weed eat, you know. And so Tommy went and bought him a weed eater that had the straight long shaft on it. And he couldn't get down to his feet because, you know, if he had it on, he had to keep it out in front of him.
Right.
And he couldn't stick it up, you know, to get down to his feet, or he would, you know, couldn't hold on to the trigger. So he got him one of those. And it was so funny because people would go by the house. We lived right on a busy road. And people would go by and they'd be like looking, and they're like, I can't believe that little bitty kid's out there weed eating. But that's kind of how he started, you know, when he would go to the woods with Tommy, you know, when he was just little, and, you know, just sit on the tractor with him or whatever. I don't know. I think that, you know, when you let them be involved, you can't wait until they're a teenager, you know, to get them started.
Right,
you know,
right.
You have to involve them when they're little.
And so that's something that, you know, I like to think of as life schooling, you know, giving your children the opportunity to learn, because when your kid, it's so easy as a parent, when your kid's like, I want to help you, to say, no, get out of my way. You're going to get hurt. I can get it done faster if you're not in my way. You know, it's so much easier to just do it yourself.
Right.
And that's the world we live in, is people are like, just get out of my way. I don't want to take the time to teach you to do it. I'm just going to do it. And so then you have teenagers and you're like, hey, go mow the yard. And they're like, but when they were 5, they wanted to help you.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Hunter, he's only 11, but he goes around to the neighbors' houses and does odd jobs for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in the middle of nowhere, and we don't have a lot of neighbors, but we have like 3 or 4 good neighbors that'll put him to work. Whether
Yeah.
it's cleaning out a chicken coop or picking up trash around a yard or mowing grass or digging a hole or whatever.
I would do the same, but I'm too shy to ask.
And Emily used to go over and like clean their house once a week and stuff like that. And so they're little entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
But-
they're good for them.
But they have to, I mean, and when you want to learn how to do something, when you have the yearning to learn something, you're going to learn it a lot more effectively than
Right.
if someone is trying to force you to learn something that you really don't care to do. And each
Yeah.
kid is going to be different. You know, some kids may want to be in the kitchen or in an art studio or
Like
something, but when a kid says, hey, I want to do this, or I want to try this, or ask questions leading up to, you know, interest in something, you got to feed it.
Exactly. Usually Isaac would always do the weed eating, and Connor. Now, when Connor gets in a hurry, he don't do as good of a job. And so the other day he was weed eating, and we'd been on vacation. We came back, and it looked like a jungle around here because we'd actually got some rain. I think 3 days we had rain. And so he had weeded around the porch and around the flower bed, and he just didn't do a good job. So I come in the house and got him, and I was like, I want you to come out here and look at this. I was like, I don't like this. I said, you know, I know you can do a better job, and I want to show you what you did wrong. You know, not that I wasn't appreciative that he did it, but if they're not doing it right, I feel like that you should show them.
Right.
You know, show them what they did wrong. That way they know what you want and what you expect, or how it's supposed to be done, you
Right.
know, and which I am appreciative, and he knows that. But I was like, now look, I was like, you just put the weed eater down in the tall grass and you just spun it around and around and just dug down in the dirt, you know, here and there, and then left tall grass. I was like, that ain't how you're supposed to do it. So then he done it right. And
Yeah,
he
not
knew-
only that, but I mean, you don't tell them what they're doing wrong, and they're going to grow up thinking they're doing it right, and eventually, I mean, that's going to be harmful to them, you know.
yeah, yeah,
That's something that I completely believe in and support, but I struggle with as a
Mhm.
parent, is following up. And I'm like, hey, you know, go do your chores, you know, sweeping the floor. There's more to the floor than just what you see. You know, under the table, that's still the floor. Around the edges, that's still the floor. You know, and when I sweep, I go around and I get all the nooks and crannies and whatever, but the kids just want to like sweep the main path that you walk on, you know? And
Yeah.
so to go behind them and be like, hey, you missed a spot.
right.
Yeah, it takes time. And it's the same for like, parenting is a lot like being a supervisor or a manager somewhere. It's managing people, and
Yeah.
not everybody's good at it. And
Well,
so-
like what you're talking about, you know, the floor, that's okay for a 5-year-old, you know, if they done, but it's not okay for a 16-year-old. They should know to do under the table, you know. I know my grandma used to always tell us, she would say, you know, once supper was done, and she would be like, you know, supper's not over until you've washed your dishes, you've wiped off your counters, your stove, and you've swept your floor and cleaned off the table, which I'm horrible about our table being a catch-all. Like when we come in the door, we lay stuff down on the table.
Oh, yeah.
But she would always tell us, you know, once you get done eating, you got to sweep the floor. You got to sweep the floor, you know. And I don't always do that, but, you know, I remember that. I remember that was important to her, you know. But I just feel like, you know, if you let them be involved, and, you know, they're going to want to be, you know, help. They're going, you know, usually they'll want to help.
especially when they're younger.
Yeah.
The younger
Yeah,
ones
Wait
always
till we're older to start it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, if you wait till they're a teenager, you're gonna have let them get lazy by that point. And it's just not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
all the time, the kids are like, "Mom, I want to help you make dinner." And sometimes I'm like, "Just get out of my way," and other times I'm like, "Okay, you can fry the meat, you can cut the vegetables." You know,
Like last night, you had to order Chinese food.
we didn't have to, we just did because you know it's been a long time.
It's been a really long time, yeah.
So
It's
we
been a really long
you know,
time.
raising kids is a lot like training employees. When you start a new job, and you don't have a good trainer, you're not gonna learn how to do things, like
Right.
how to clean a specific machine, or you're not gonna know that this equipment needs to be cleaned every day or once a week or whatever. And then you're gonna get in trouble because it didn't get done, but really nobody taught you, nobody told you it needed to be done. And so if you're messing up, it's important when a kid,
people, whenever you're in real life, people, they're not going to really care about your feelings.
Yeah, no, right.
I've heard people say, well, that would, you shouldn't hurt your kids' feelings. Well, when they get in real life, people are not going to care to hurt their feelings.
Absolutely.
Chloe just got a job at a little grocery store here that's local, and she's just learning. And she said that the other night on Tuesdays, they're supposed to do bread like late or something, like late in the, about before the store closes, supposed to put bread out. Well, she started putting bread out when she got there. So she didn't know. They just told her that was one of her things. So she went and got the bread and started putting it out. Well, the owner came over and he's like, what are you doing? She was like, I'm putting out bread. And he goes, no, you don't put out bread now. He didn't care that she didn't, he told her, you don't put out bread now. And then the other day, they were something about the freezers. They were pulling stuff to the front, and the other owner, he's like, you're not in trouble because you don't know this, you're learning. He's like, but you stack stuff on top of each other. That way, if the electricity was to go out, it would hold it, being frozen longer,
Right.
and if he didn't tell her, then it would never get done, the way he wanted it done, and I think that's important to do that at home too. You just tell them how you want it.
Right. And, there's a difference between hurting your child's feelings intentionally and just being straightforward.
Right.
Because, hey, you missed a spot isn't meant to hurt their feelings. It's to educate.
Yeah.
And that's, the same thing in a job. Although I have had a few bosses that could have been like, hey, you missed a spot. But instead they felt like telling you everything that they thought bad about you,
Right. And telling them her story.
And so it's, you don't know unless somebody brings it to your attention.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really thankful the boys, because they are such a big help. When Tommy was sick a while back, and when my dad was in the hospital, Chloe could run the house. She was 15 and she could cook them something to eat. She made sure they had what they needed. She stayed here with them, kept the house, and I mean, it was winter and we have an outside furnace, and the boys were able to keep the stove going. And one night, their cousin had come and picked up the boys, and they spent the night with their other little cousin, and Chloe stayed here by herself, and she kept the furnace going through the night, and I mean, it was January, and I'm really thankful that they're able to help out like they are.
So I think, Donna, I think we need to come up with some kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe an intern program, to where we can send our kids to you and you can send your kids to us for a while.
And they can get water to bring his log splitter.
Yeah.
There you go. But now let me tell you though, we get comments all the time, people saying how great they are and how blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, they're just normal kids like everybody else is. They fuss and sometimes they don't want to go do it, and I always try to make that, plain out there. They're just like everybody else's kids. Somebody commented and said, oh, I just love how, they just love each other, and, they're always supportive of each other, and they don't ever fuss. And I'm like, hey, you only see like 12 minutes.
Yeah, right.
This is 12 minutes of edited footage that you're seeing.
Yeah.
They do
the part where they were arguing with me.
Yeah, they argue. They argue with each other, and but I mean, they do help out. I mean, I'll say that, but they're not perfect. Nobody's are. None of us are.
And I have my days too when I'm like, man, I really don't want to do this today, but laundry and dishes, if you let them go, then they pile up, and then you really, really, really don't want to do them.
I know. The worst thing, I know. Today, I told Chloe I had been canning tomato juice, and so the first batch had come. I was finished and I had the tomato scraps over in a pan. And I said, why don't you take these out to the chickens? And which she was cleaning the shower, And I was like, why don't you take these out to the chickens? And she's like, I will in just a minute, which I know she had intentions of doing so. But then we got to talking. And so we had company. And then my next batch of tomatoes come off, and I had those scraps on top of the other scraps. And so finally she was upstairs and I just took them. She was like, Mom, I was going to take them. I'm like, just never mind. Just do your thing. I'll go take them to the chicken.
Absolutely, Cindy. Homestead, what did she say? Homestead Kid Exchange Program.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a foreign exchange student program. Let's do it with homeschool kids too.
I think somebody else had mentioned that to us, said y'all should, up there where you live, you should, because we're back in the woods, they said you should do a camp for kids. And I'm like, I've got 4
kids of my own. I don't want any more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but you were talking about reaching out to companies and organizations or whatever out of state, but you don't know who to call.
Right.
You don't know where to look for who to call. So I think that we should ask the subscribers and, whatever, if they know of somewhere or an event that's coming up that would be a good prize to give, because I assume you're going to use these tickets and events as prizes, like raffle prizes or whatever for the fundraiser.
Well, she did mention that to get them involved.
And so if anybody knows of any events around where they live, then Donna has an email address on her About page. So if you guys know of somebody or something that's going on, and you can either reach out or tell Donna about it, send her an email and say, hey, you should check with this company or whatever, or maybe you contact the company and say, here's the email address for the person who's hosting this. And we can all come together, and then there'll be different things all over.
Right.
And that way, if somebody in California wins some tickets, maybe they can get something close to them, and or whatever.
It would be great. And what I would really, really like, if anybody wanted to, of course, I'll put this out there first. If there's any other YouTube channels that would want to let us come on and tell our story like we have tonight, we've sat and chit-chatted. I wouldn't take up everybody's live, the whole live or anything. But, it won't take us 10 minutes to tell what we're doing. And if there's anybody else, like I said, that has a channel that would be interested, we would love to be able to spread the word to as many people as possible, because our community that we have is different than your community. You have a lot of the farming, the homesteading community, to where we have some, like we've met you guys and, some of the different ones. But the biggest part of our community is like the logging, the forestry, that type of thing. And like I said before, all of us working together for one goal, we can do big things.
Absolutely.
And, like if you guys know of a place where you're at that would want to donate tickets, if you would want to ask them, and then you can just mail them to our P.O. box. Or whenever we do the live, if you wanted to just be a holder of the tickets, and then whenever we raffle them off, then you can mail them to the person, whichever works best. But, if anybody is interested in doing that, then they can contact me. That way we have, I know exactly what's going on. It won't be so chaotic on the night that we do it. And then also last year we had some people to send us stuff. Like they sent like like a pocket knife, just some little things, like if you wanted to send us just swing by Walmart and pick up an Amazon, or not Amazon, but like a food card, or like a little Visa card for $20, just something like that, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter, but just any ideas that anybody has, you can send them to my email. I see that Cindy Brown has posted our email address, and you can just holler at me. And then in our About page, we have our P.O. box. And
After this live, I will go add those things to the description. Do you have a donation link yet?
no, that will actually go up on July the 29th.
Okay, and when is this gonna run? Like how long?
It's going to run the whole month of August.
Okay,
The whole month of August.
okay, so $20,000 in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be awesome.
By the way, Cindy, thank you for staying on top of things. It looks like you're the only mod we have in here tonight. So
Yeah, so thank
you so much for working your butt off and staying on top of things.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Also, what else was I going to tell you? There was something else. Oh, last year, I can't remember who it was, but I'd have to go back and look at our videos. But somebody had taken donations at their work, the whole entire a fundraiser. And on the last night, they brought their donation and made it. And it was several $100s.
Yeah,
I mean,
I remember that. I
yeah.
can't remember who it was, but I remember somebody
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, it put us over our goal.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to do that, I mean, that's something too, like if you work in like an office or a public place that would let you do that, that would be great. Just anything that, to help families, I knew there was a need for helping, with things like this. But, when Dad was in the hospital, it became even more real. How hard it is to stay at a hospital.
Right,
And Tommy, which, we're self-employed, we can take off. But when you're self-employed, you don't have paid weeks off.
Absolutely.
And, we went a whole month without any kind of pay. And we was at the hospital, the whole time. And it's expensive. It's expensive to drive back and forth. It's expensive to stay there, and just like having other family members to be able to come in and stay maybe in a motel there to where you can leave for a little while. It was just me, and there was times that I couldn't even leave to go use the bathroom. And when he was in ICU, if you went out of the room, you had to leave. If you went out to use the bathroom, you was done.
Wow.
You could not go back in. So once you went in there, you couldn't get you anything to drink. You couldn't use the bath. You couldn't do anything. And then once he got out in the room, of course, eating out of the vending machine and out of restaurants, it gets expensive after a while.
And hotel rooms, yeah.
And I mean, that was having Dad there for a month, and the majority of these kids that's at St. Jude's are not there just for a month. They're there for a long time. And it's really hard. And I know that it would be hard on both parents would want to be there. And, over time, that would just almost be impossible, because most everybody has bills.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just do it. And I just think it's so great that St. Jude's offers the treatment for these families and these kids at no charge.
Yes.
But, it takes people like us that's willing to help out because, we never know when tomorrow it could be us there.
Right.
Yeah. Next year when you go to, if you feel led to do this again, by that time we should have our 501c3 through the IRS. So then we can help generate even more. I
Yeah.
guess.
Hopefully. So Jackie was asking what was going on. I'm assuming Jackie must have come in late. Jackie, I'm not sure if you know Donna with Little Southern Brothers or not, but they're doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's. It's going to be the whole month of August. Is that what you said, Donna?
Yeah. It'll be the whole month of August.
So
There will be, anybody can donate any amount, everything from $1 to $1,000, $10,000, whatever you want to donate.
Mhm.
And it all 100% of it goes to St. Jude. So when you donate, you don't donate through their YouTube channel. You don't
No.
send super chats and stuff like that because YouTube takes 30% of it. There's a specific link that they will have go live on July 29th.
Mhm.
that you donate to that link, and 100% of it goes to St. Jude.
Right.
So,
That was one thing that I worried about when I first.
you know, I was gonna do that today so that when I saw you on our live tonight, I could be like, guess what I did today? And I did. So,
That was one thing that I kind of worried about when we decided to do this was I didn't want to handle any of the money. You know, I didn't want nobody sending me any money. And so whenever I, you know, looked more into it and realized that YouTube takes care of all of it for us, then I was like, yes, this is great, you know, and they don't take any money from it. No fees or anything. It's 100% of it goes straight to St. Jude. And then in our videos, there'll be a link in each video to where you can go donate. And we'll be going live every Friday night in the whole month of August.
Are y'all going to do the same thing and have the little, how much you've raised?
the little thermometer
Yeah.
chart that you
Yeah.
did. I think that's a good visual for people.
Yeah.
But also, Cindy, something else that Donna's trying to work on this year is if people have anything, Cindy, you paint, right? So if you wanted to donate one of your paintings to give away, you could send it to them. I think we should send them some of our soaps and
Soaps and dabs and things, yeah.
You can send gift cards.
Well, you know, I think that Wiley should send one of them cedar chests, you know, and I might just keep it.
Now, that's in the plans, Donna, but not for this, okay? Just for you, but that's in the plan.
I'm just kidding.
Again, so if anybody was late and didn't hear what we were talking about a few minutes ago, if you know of any events in your area, what would you say, Donna, like through the end of the year, maybe?
Yeah.
Because that would give people time to plan for a trip or something. Because most concerts and events and stuff are scheduled out a few months at least. So if you know of any events in your area that you think that somebody might want to go to, and you think that you can get free tickets or something, reach out to that company or send Donna an email. Her email address and PO box are listed on their about page. And you can let her know so that she can reach out. She wants to find things like that out of Tennessee, but she doesn't know where to look or who to call or anything like that. So if we could come together as a community and help her find that information, I'm sure that would be extremely beneficial. And I mean, that means that, you know, if you find a concert in your area that you want to go to, then maybe you win those tickets and you'll get to go. But the idea of having it, having events like all over the place is because not everybody lives in Tennessee. You know, honestly, if we won tickets to an event in Tennessee right now, we wouldn't be able to go because we don't have money to take a trip. So,
yeah, that's us. You know, we just got back from South Carolina and or North Carolina, and the boys got to go down and meet Bobby Goodson. And, you know, there's not stuff that we do all the time. You know, we don't travel all the time. We get take one vacation a year. And, you have to get somebody to come and take care of all the animals. And it's just not something that we do. Of course, we'll probably, Lord willing, go in October back to the logging show up in Ohio. But, you know, like you said, not everybody is going to want to travel to Tennessee to a theater or, you know, Dollywood or, you know, something like that. So, yeah, if you know of anything in your area, you know, like maybe, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big. It can just be like a small town, like, I don't know, whatever. I don't even know some of the things that might be in your area. But, I just think it's really neat.
I know we've got the monster truck show coming up in Oklahoma City here, Monster Jam or one of them.
Kevin Hart
pretty
is
soon,
going to be in Oklahoma City soon. The IFYR is in Shawnee right now.
It's right now, yeah. It's a little late.
Yeah.
But,
well, you know, even something like that, it could be tickets, you know, for next year.
For next year, yeah. I may make a rolling pin and send to you, but I'm going to have to get a written statement that you're not going to use it on Tommy.
Don't promise anything. Oh, That's funny. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on and letting us tell our story and tell everybody else what we're wanting to do. And you know, I thank yous for just getting involved with us, you know, just jumping in, and it's no big I's and little U's. It's just everybody jumping in and working together. And you know, in the community that, you know, we've gotten to know you guys, it's just so funny to me, you know. I'm hoping at one point we can cross paths and actually get to meet.
One day we're coming to visit.
One day we're coming to see y'all, I promise.
Okay, we'll hold you to that.
The other day, we were at a meeting. You know, we're involved in the home, like in helping the homeless in our community, and so we go to a meeting about once a month. And one of the people that was the topic of conversation this last month was somebody who had, who was trying to get home to Tennessee. They were stranded here in Shawnee, and they were trying to get home to Tennessee, but you can't put, the budget doesn't allow for a plane ticket, and you can't put a dog on a bus. And this person, you know, when you're homeless and all you have is your dog, that's like your kid. They're not going to leave their dog. And so I looked at Wiley and I was like, we could go visit Donna and Tommy.
What part of Tennessee were they from? Do you know?
I don't even
We
know.
didn't get that far into it, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, we can drive to Tennessee. We know people there.
absolutely, Anson. This community, and you know, I think Donna kind of touched on it a while ago. You know, her group of people is kind of a different group of people than what we are. You know, I mean, our whole community is, but I still feel like you guys fit right in with our whole family. You know, and but our community has got to be the greatest community I have ever seen. People are just amazing.
Yeah.
Around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, hey, we could send her for some freeze-dried Skittles to give away too.
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
Did you guys get your freeze dryer yet?
We did.
We got it. We got it Wednesday.
We just done so the first batch you do in the freeze dryer, you put bread in there and it absorbs the new car smell. You know, so we just got that done, and it actually just beeped a while ago, and it's ready for the next cycle. So we've got to pack some stuff in there in a little bit. So
That's neat.
yeah,
We're really
That'll
excited.
be really interesting. Now, can you freeze dry milk?
Yes.
yes,
Get the powdered
Yeah,
milk?
milk out of it.
yep.
Okay, I always wondered how they done that. I never knew. I've never heard a lot about freeze drying.
Yeah, we're learning. It's
It's kind
man.
of it's a little bit different, but we're learning, and I think it's going to be pretty neat. I think we're going to be able to do some amazing stuff with it.
We're
So,
super excited about it. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, for anybody who come in late, they're doing a Little Southern Brothers celebrating their 2-year anniversary on YouTube by doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It'll kick off July 29th. It'll go all the way through the month of August. There's going to be, I'm sure, I don't know what prizes are going to be available yet, because we're just now talking about that, but there will be lots of prizes available to those who donate. And what else was I going to say?
you'll be auctioning those things off, right?
Yeah.
As donations, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to do some things. We might just let people do a donation, you know, and then some things, you know, the bigger things we might auction off, especially if it's, you know, something I think that more than one person would be really interested in, you know, just kind of get that, you know, get it going. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing.
Yeah. Well, you're
Yeah.
right. You could take some smaller items, and on a Friday night, you could be like, because you get notified whenever somebody donates something, right? Do you know who it is when it tells you who they are?
hmm
Okay, because then you can keep track.
Unless they want to do it anonymous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then they wouldn't care if they got a prize or not. Hang on.
Yeah,
So-
last year I could look it up, and they would send donate their money, and then I could see that anonymous bought this or that, and then anonymous paid $100, made the $100 donation, so I could kind of, we might have took on an item or two, but I'm thinking, if somebody's wanting to come on here and steal from St. Jude's and get a shirt for free and not pay for it, then hey, I'm going to just give it to you anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the most
So-
part, I just feel like it went really well.
Yeah. So if somebody donates, you could, throw their name in a hat or something and do some small things that way. And then raffle off the bigger things or whatever, like you're saying. I think that would be a really good idea.
We've got some hats in. I don't know where Connor went, but we got some hats in and we've sold all of that.
I need a new hat. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Let me show you these new hats. I'll be right back.
So while she's gone, hi Sam.
Hey,
Glad you could
Sam.
stop by. Anson, actually there is a couple of things you can't freeze dry. I mean, I guess you can. It's
Like
just not going to do a whole lot of good.
Really oily stuff.
Anything with a lot of oil in it won't freeze dry well.
So when you do
chocolate is not a good freeze dryer. Some
Yeah.
kind of chocolates is because it's got a lot of oil in it. It's not a real good freeze dry thing. So yeah, there is a number of things you can't freeze dry.
We don't, that's all we know so far is things with oil. So anyway, show us those hats, Donna. Oh, our screen is so tiny.
Oh my
But
gosh,
it looks awesome.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's a
you
good
should
looking
have.
hat.
You
That is a
should
good
have.
looking hat. But I don't
We'll
know how
probably give away maybe some of these. I don't know. It's so hard to get stuff made now. It took, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks to get those hats from Ohio, and but anyway, we'll probably give away some hats, some shirts. I don't know. We've got some baby onesies left over. We got some mugs. I might get some more mugs in. I don't think I'm going to do any tumblers this time because they're just so much work.
Yeah.
It's more work than, it's just, see, Chloe did that with her class and we got into the, epoxy tumblers. And she did all the computer work for them and Mama done all the work. Because epoxy is very, you know how that is, very tedious. And so I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore. That was just too hard.
So,
we had orders all the way up to Christmas Eve. We was delivering people's cups.
wow. So those hats, do you have any with a different color background? Because
No.
white doesn't do much good for me.
They're actually like a light gray. They may look white, but they're like a black. The bill's black, and the back's a darker gray, and then this is like a light gray.
Light gray.
Lighter gray. But yeah, this is it. This is all we got in. And we got, I think we've got 2 left.
They were darn good looking hats. There's just that light color. I mean, I'll ruin
Yeah,
that.
they're not gonna, they're probably not gonna hold up. I mean, they're not gonna stay looking nice,
Yeah.
Anson wants to know if you guys have a store because he's not good at winning stuff. He just wants to buy a hat.
Do what?
I said Anson wants to know if you guys have a store where he can buy merch.
Well, we had a website and we just had a lot of trouble with our website. It was, I don't know. Anyway, I won't get into that, but I just shut it down because they were selling, the website was still selling shirts that I had removed the size. And then I've got people having orders for shirts and then I didn't have the size. And you can't just, these were shirts that we had made from a company and you have to order so many. So it wasn't like I could just, make them one.
Right.
And so it just became too big of a hassle. I was just like, forget it. So what I did is I put them over on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to order anything through Etsy, it's just a lot simpler. Do you have your soap through Etsy?
Yes.
Yes, well, we did, but it's just, we don't, we put our store on.
We
pause.
still have a store, but we put it on vacation mode because we've just got so much stuff going on. she hasn't been able to keep up with the soaps and salves or anything right now, so we just put it on vacation mode.
And he was selling a lot of wood slabs on Etsy. We were making decent money, but it cost so much to ship those things that we were making like $30 out of a board. It just wasn't worth it. So
Yeah, I put everything over there. It's under Southern Brothers TN.
okay.
Southern Brothers TN.
Apparently you still have your website on your about page.
Yeah, I haven't taken it off yet.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I'd forgot about it.
So Anson, if you want a hat, you gotta go to Etsy.
Southern Brothers TN. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Like Tennessee TN. Easy to remember. Southern Brothers TN.
find it real quick to share that link. I don't even know how to use this very good, so. Cindy's probably gonna meet me here.
Yeah, Cindy will have you whipped.
Yeah. Copy.
So yeah, it was I mean, I love Etsy and I love the way it all works. It worked great, but I'm going to have to start individually pricing each piece of wood where I had it on there as, you could buy up to 2 inches thick and, by the foot for slabs.
Mhm.
Cindy beat me to it.
But then somebody would order a 10-foot slab that was 2 inches thick, and by the time it was all said and done, I made like $5 on it.
Yeah.
So if I kept it down to smaller sizes, it was working out great. But once it got up a little bit bigger sizes, then it wasn't worth it. And so we just put it on vacation mode till we kind of get things straightened out and have a little more time.
Well, I tell you, there's one thing is you don't want to give people too many options.
Yeah.
Because, if you get, it just becomes crazy. It's like, I want this different font,
Right.
I want that, I want it shaded, and I want it this abbreviated. It's just like, forget it. I just can't.
Right.
I don't have the time to do all that. And
This
We
ain't
don't
made
sell
it ain't made your way. You can't have it your way.
I'm just kind of like, whenever I did these hats, I just got this one color. But then you have people like, well, I like the ones that has the orange front, or I like the ones that has the camouflaged, or I don't want that one, or I want this one, and I'm just like, gray's kind of neutral, black, grays, stuff like that.
Those hats are awesome. And if I had enough self-discipline to take it off whenever it's time to go to work,
Yeah.
I would love to have one, but I know I don't have that kind of self-discipline, so I would have it ruined in no time.
Well, that's
I know one of us.
people would send the boys shirts, other YouTubers and stuff. And I'm like, is it okay? Because they send you a shirt and, and if they're wearing it to work.
I do
And
the same thing.
I kind of feel bad. I'm like, you realize that they're going to ruin this because it's going to come home and it one time it's never going to be the same.
Right.
And so I'm just, I just let them ruin them and go on.
The shirt he won from you guys is all stained up, but he still wears it all the time.
I wear it all the time, but I mean, it's just
Hey.
that's the way it goes. I mean, it's
That's
no
what it was.
disrespect. I love you guys, but I mean, it was on whenever I needed to do something, and it got stained up.
That's what it was for. Wear it.
So if anybody, if any other channels have any merch, if they want to donate a T-shirt, Donna's PO box is on their about page, so that would be something too, and it help promote your channel and help show that you're supporting this cause. It can get you some positive light, but do it because you want to be a good person and donate to the cause, not because you want to get recognition out of it. So, but that's just an idea. If you have merch, send them something, and then they can, use it for the benefit of St. Jude.
Right.
I may just have a couple of shirts printed with my face on them and send them to you.
Anson said he ordered a hat, so I guess you're gonna have to get to work when we get off here.
Do what?
Anson said he bought a hat, so you're gonna have to get to work when we get off here.
Okay, I will.
Uncle Hanson, are you gonna send it to me?
This one's yours. I'll put it see it that way. Where's he from?
Virginia.
Virginia.
I think.
He's not far from you guys, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're trying to sell their house so they can move to Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Apparently, more people are moving out of Virginia than to Virginia.
Obviously.
I didn't realize that we had so many subscribers from North Carolina until we went to North Carolina. And there's a lot of people saying, hey, that's where I'm from. But it was funny because we wrote on the back of our car, subscribe to our channel, Little Southern Brothers. And I put on there, comment what state you're from. And that was so much fun. And as we were going down the interstate, I was watching my phone and watching the subscriber count and the comments, and people was commenting, and they were like, hey, I was driving the water truck right beside you. Or
That's so cool.
we was I'm in the Camaro, or I can't remember what it wasn't a Camaro, it was something else. Anyway, it was really fun. And one night we was going in the house, and I heard some people holler, and they're like, hey. And I looked, and these little kids were on the back of a golf cart, and they were riding around the little community there where we were staying. We're on a little island, and they were waving. They're like, we're subscribing. And I'm like, yeah. But that was so much fun to see people comment their states. And then a lot of people were like, hey, I'm in North Carolina. I'm subscribed. And I was like,
That's awesome. We was going to Arkansas to the 41.36, the Freedom Fest weekend over there at Simple Life Reclaims place, and I was thinking that I wanted to take and write something on the truck or on the camper we was pulling or something, and I wound up not doing it. But I thought that was going to be really cool, and then we wound up not doing it. But that's awesome to have them sending you messages like that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. You should do it. She's right sometime.
Yeah.
So Anson, I think you got in here kind of late, but Donna had said if any other channels want to help by allowing them to come on and talk about what they're doing, that they'd love that opportunity. So if you are going to have a live anytime soon, and you would like to have Donna and her family as guests to talk about what they're doing, that's another way that you can help too. So.
Also, I want to say, I don't know if you guys were on Lori's live or not whenever we were on there, but there was a channel on there, and they were wanting us to come on. And so I told them to email me. So they emailed me, and when I tried to email them back, it said that their email was full or something. They couldn't take any emails. And so I commented on her video, and so she said she'd get back to me, which she did. And then I tried to get back to her again. It still won't let me email her. So if she was to be in here tonight, or if you were to have known who that was, if you saw that, if you wouldn't care just to let her know that, I haven't just ignored her. I just haven't been able to get in touch with her.
Well, we didn't see it. We didn't catch it.
Okay.
We've been so busy, we haven't really been able to get on a lot. I've been in and out of a few, but I haven't been able to get on a lot.
It's usually just for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and but we'll see what we can figure out.
Right now, we're working around jobs to do other jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we had someone call us the other day, and they're like, "We've only got 10 days to get this done." They got a ticket from the city or a warning because their backyard is overgrown, and their neighbor's trying to sell their house. So their neighbor most likely reported them to the city. And so we're having to pause the truck that we're working on so that we can go over there and get that done within the 10 days. And so that's just the story of our life. It's like we're trying to get one thing done. It's like 10 other things come along that interrupt getting that one job done. So
yeah.
Anson said they aren't going to do any live soon, but they can share it on their community tab. And then I bet Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse would have.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks, Anson.
Yeah, thank you, Anson. And anybody else, July 29th, Donna will have the link available. So if you share it after July 29th, make sure the donation link is in the description.
In the description.
I mean, most of you probably already know that, but I need to.
July the 29th, that's a Friday night. So we'll go live that night and we'll have the donation tab attached to it that night.
Oh, and it's a donation tab. It's not actually a link. So you'll have, right? So you actually have to.
It's just isn't it just the,
It's like a little icon.
yeah, it's like a little icon. You just click on it and then make your donation.
Well, we have been on here for like an hour and a half.
And my phone's at about 5%.
Yeah, and that phone keeps warning us that it's fixing to die. So we probably ought to get off here. Oh, so somebody just like this.
Ask her which Lori's live. Was it Lori
It
at
was-
LG?
Yeah, LG Homestead.
Okay.
It was the live that she had me on there talking about St. Jude.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you're probably needing to get off here, and I'm getting kind of hungry, so she needs to get off here. So I might as well get off here too. So
Oh,
Let me tell Tommy what you said right quick since he's come in. Wiley said that he was thinking of doing a rolling pin for the donation. He's gonna send it, but I had to be sure not to whoop you with it.
So,
He said he had enough knots on his head.
so Donna, if you can schedule those lives a couple days in advance, then everybody can maybe find it and we can share it on our community.
Okay. I'll put me a note here, and which usually when we do a live, we're sitting here like, you just want to go live? We go live.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But is it good to schedule one like a week out? Is that too
Yeah,
long?
you can schedule them out as long as you want, but I would say a week or less. Because then if someone sees it and then they post it on their community tab, it might be, 5 days until the live, and that gives people time to forget. So
Okay, I put that in my calendar to post it on I'll post it on Monday before the live will be that Friday.
That would
good
be
deal.
awesome.
And then
Yeah.
everybody has a few days to find it and share it out. So we'll try to remember when we see it to share it out.
To get it shared out.
I appreciate it.
No
Chloe
problem.
came home and brought us supper tonight. She's been to Burger King.
Ah!
Burger King.
Ah. You could have done better than Burger King. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, they have coupons.
right. All right, guys. Well, we probably ought to get off. And,
Yeah, it's about dinner time for
yeah.
us too. We haven't started nothing.
So it's time for y'all to eat, obviously. So
appreciate you guys.
Sorry, I'm gonna add some more information to the description. I'm gonna put in your email address and your PO box, and then dates and important information and stuff like that. If anybody even reads the descriptions anymore, I don't know, but I'll put it there just in case.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I appreciate it. I thank you guys so much for letting us come on and being a part of it.
well, thanks for hanging out with us for a whole hour and a half.
Yeah, because it gave us something to talk about.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.